All right, what up? This is Marcus. Now, this is a sad video because we are doing sits of the week. And I know that everyone doesn't want to sit their players. And sometimes these players, they look so appetizing or they've been playing so well. And some have just been playing bad. And you just have to say, you know what? We are sitting them. We are not playing them anymore. And so the first one we're going to start off, we're going to do quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. The first one we're going to go with is Mr. Derek Carr. And we watched the Raiders offense absolutely do nothing last week. And so Derek Carr against the Jaguars, who've actually been decent for a passing defense against quarterbacks. And so Derek Carr is just going to be my sit of the week. I think that he is, I don't know, it's just like Waller's been hurt. Adams has been just and then they just don't have any other weapons. They've been running it through Josh Jacobs. And so Josh Jacobs is going to be fine, but it doesn't seem like anybody else wants to perform well. I feel like Derek Carr is now resorting into this, unfortunately, Russell Wilson realm where he's good, he's not great, he's not bad, but then sometimes he'll be bad, and sometimes he'll be sometimes he'll be decent, but you're kind of in the meh territory, behind Tua, behind Kirk Cousins, behind Herbert, of course, and so you're going to have him even behind Geno, behind Justin Fields. I'm rather starting those type of quarterbacks over these types of quarterbacks, which is Derek Carr, Jared Goff against the Packers. He scored 18.6 points in his last week's loss against the Dolphins, but I think the Packers defense it's a divisional game. I feel like the Packers have always played Detroit well, and so I want to stay away from Jared Goff, who doesn't have TJ Hawkinson anymore, which is sad for them, but happy for us. Skol! Marcus Mariota versus the Chargers. Again, the Chargers defense has, and this is a tough one because I think Marcus Mariota can be fine. Just that Falcons offense has just been a complete mess. And so I understand that he just had 22.4 points in the win over the Panthers. Panthers defense has actually been okay too. So this is the one I feel least confident about. But Marcus Mariota could easily have a bad game against the Chargers. If the Chargers defense, who has certain weapons, I know they've been losing some weapons, but this could be a bad game for Marcus Mariota. And this is just one of those that I see. Their defense has allowed just one quarterback to have more than 17.3 fantasy points. So I see this game being through the running game. And that whether that's Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier, Caleb Huntley, or just a combination of all three, I think this is going to be, again, more of a running game. And that could include Marcus Mariota. I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't. The next one is Andy Dalton versus the Ravens. The Ravens defense has actually picked it up the last few weeks. And so, again, if you're in redraft, this is a defense that I definitely want a piece of because Ravens defense has been better since the beginning of the year. And even look what they did against Josh Allen. I mean, they kind of held Josh Allen, not in check necessarily, but they held him okay. I mean, the only quarterback they've had just two to score more than 17.3 fantasy points, and one of them was Josh Allen. I mean, that's a good statistic right there. And so Andy Dalton, we're sitting him. Another sit is CEH / Jerick McKinnon / Isaiah Pacheco against the Titans defense. I just don't want the three-headed monster. And really, these matchups, it's really tough because, like, at least Denver has touchdown opportunity. And I guess KC does as well. But I just feel like Kansas City, Mahomes is going to be the one that's going to be passing it all over the place. I mean, if you need to start CEH, but it is a risk. I am trying to sit him as I possibly can. The next one is going to be Darrell Henderson against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, really good run defense, and now Rivers has been playing. It's just, I don't know what the Rams want to do. And if they don't have Cooper Kupp either, like this Rams offense could potentially do absolutely nothing, which is kind of scary. The next one, and the Vikings run defense hasn't been the greatest, but Brian Robinson is somebody that I am benching. I mean, Antonio Gibson likely too. It's just this run offense where even with J.D. McKissic, you're getting three separate different pieces, and it seems like Antonio Gibson has been the one that the score. I mean, he's had 37.4 points the last two games. Brian Robinson just has not. And so I know the Vikings defense has actually only allowed one running back to have more than 13.5 points in their last four contests. So you're looking at a defense that has been fine. They kind of get abused through the air, which is why I wanted to have a start of the week. Yesterday, I talked about Terry McLaurin. All right, we're going to do wide receiver sits of the week here. Brandon Cooks versus the Eagles. Oh, wait, he's already out. Never mind. Which is actually what I wrote down before. He was listed as out, so he's out. So you're definitely sitting him. Drake London against the Chargers. See Marcus Mariota data as in 3 minutes ago, and you can understand why I had that. The next one is going to be, and this is going to be a tough one, but it's going to be Allen Robinson against the Buccaneers. Now, I understand he could be the primary target, but I feel like Cooper Kupp is going to come back in some capacity. And yes, Robinson has scored 10-plus points in the last two games. but it hasn't been super high targeted or anything like that. I am going to try to just sit Allen Robinson. I can easily see this game being like 13-10. What is the under on this Vegas game? I have no idea. Other wide receivers to potentially sit: Hunter Renfrow against the Jaguars, and then Robert Woods against the Chiefs. I am not starting any wide receiver in Tennessee until I am forced at probably knife point. I didn't want to say gunpoint. At knife point. And then maybe I'll start one. All right, we're going to do tight end sits of the week here. Mike Gesicki against the Bears. Now, Gesicki has been touchdown dependent. And I just feel like there is no way the Bears cornerbacks can compete with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I almost lost Tyreek Hill's name again in my head. He's just so fast, he just flew out of my head. And those two wide receivers, I feel like, are just going to be the guys. And Raheem Mostert can just run free against the Bears defense. And so, Mike Gesicki, take a seat for this week. The next one, and I've seen people really popular on these two types of tight ends. Cole Kmet versus the Dolphins. I am not starting Cole Kmet. He found the end zone last week. He scored 9.1, but I am still staying away from Cole Kmet. I just cannot believe it. I think Justin Fields is going to have fantasy points through the rushing, and this is going to still be a week that is not the greatest. Next one is any Tampa Bay, a.k.a. Cade Otton, against the Rams. I'm not starting him. I actually saw him started a couple starts of the week from other analysts, and I'm like, no, I am getting out of that. Other ones, Juwan Johnson against the Ravens. The Ravens defense is stellar. Again, another tight end that I just want away from this week. There's plenty of other tight ends, whether it's Ingram and Tanyan and Conklin, and just like there's plenty of other tight ends that I would rather start this week. And so I am just staying away from that. In fact, I'd rather actually start Dawson Knox, who I know is a little bit more risky, but I'd rather start him over some of these guys like Juwan Johnson. All right. So this is Marcus Nice with that. Peace out. Have a good Sunday in a couple days here. Peace out.